Hey guys, it's Mark J. Schmidt here with Gloria's Ask to Go Realtors and MoveMeMark.com. I'm excited. Today is day 24 of Mark Madness. Mark Madness is happening all March long, and it's where I'm giving you great tips, advice, ideas, suggestions, everything you need to make sure your move is a huge success. Make sure you check back every day on my Facebook page at facebook.com/MoveMeMark so you don't miss a thing. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Today I want to talk to you about something kind of interesting. There is a movie theater on Route 1 in New Brunswick here in beautiful New Jersey, and it's a Lowe's movie theater. You may have gone by there many times in your daily travels. And what you may not know if you've never driven around to the back of the movie theater is that there's a woman buried behind there. It's actually not just a woman. It's actually a woman and a couple of her family members. There's a grave. If you drive around to the back of the movie theater, there's a grave. It is actually about 5 feet off the ground. There's an iron gate around it, but it's one single solitary grave with 3 or 4 family members buried there. The woman who is best known for that grave is named Mary Ellis. And Mary Ellis, as the story goes, she lived in the 1800s in New Brunswick, and she fell in love with a sea captain, and they were supposed to get married. But unfortunately, he went out to sea and never returned. And she would ride her horse to the banks of the Raritan and look out and wait for him to return, but he never came back. So when she died, they buried her there where she would go ride her horse to wait for his return, overlooking the banks of the Raritan River. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this today is because this is a perfect example of a deed restriction, okay? When they buried her there, in that one grave cemetery, they now made it impossible for anyone to move her, okay? They made that part of the deed. Now, granted, you're probably not going to be buying a home where someone is going to be buried on the property, but you could have a deed restriction on that home. And what a deed restriction is, it's something that is attached to that deed that is not going to allow you, is going to restrict you from doing certain things. So, for example, you could have deed restrictions if you're living in a community with an association. You may have deed restrictions regarding what you can and can't do to your home, what you can and can't plant outside. There's any of a number of things that could be there. There are other sorts of deed restrictions, like if you have an easement on your property. An easement is a right that someone else has to a portion of your property. So, for example, if there's a gas line that is running under your property, that would be an easement. You know, you wouldn't be able to do certain things. For example, you couldn't put a pool in where that gas line is going. So that's another type of deed restriction. But deed restrictions are something you want to find out about before you actually buy that home, because you could get into a home where you're not going to be able to do what you want to do. Furthermore, you may find it difficult to sell later on if there's a deed restriction that is more onerous than others. Sometimes, you know, in a community with an association, you have those deed restrictions so that there's uniformity. So everyone's homes look pretty much the same, and you have to keep them up a certain way. You don't have all the homes one color, and then this one person has made their home lime green. So those are pretty okay deed restrictions, but you want to look into them. And next time you're traveling on Route 1 through New Brunswick, go around to the back of that Lowe's movie theater and say hello to Mary Ellis for me. If you have any questions, please give me a call anytime. You can reach me at 908-705-5110. But I appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.